I don't know where the mic keeps going out in my thing, but whatever. If you didn't get that intro, you guys know as I introspect and think and come across things, I always share them with you. So here is something that I want to submit for your consideration because a lot of us are messing up in this area and it's not cool. We're not getting the results we want. So you know the drill. Sit down, share this with a friend, and let's talk. Y'all, I am like losing it today. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about something I've been thinking about today. Um, I get myself in situations, right? Don't we all? And I was thinking today because being the creator of a sassy method, the sassy method and a life coach, I'm always focused on getting to the root of things. So I don't do anything with you guys that I don't do with myself. So I was sitting with myself today like, girl, how do you keep getting into these things, Jamie? What is the root of why some of your romantic relationships are turning out this way? Why you feel limitations in maybe how much money you can make, how possible it is, how just anything that feels limiting, anything that feels like your negotiator. Do you know what I mean? So I came up with something today and I wanted to share with you guys. And it's the word compromise. So I'm good for a good dictionary explanation, but compromise. I feel like, and let me know if this is you too, but this is the root of something I had to get to, and I'm going to just be transparent. I'm going to give you an example of my own. I was dating somebody a while back. It's one of the last people that I dated. And I was thinking to myself, like, how did I get into this situation with this person? Because we be knowing, we get our intuition, we get a moment, it'll be a sentence, it'll be a thing, and you'll hear it in your spirit and you know it won't work because it's something that is not in alignment with who you are, and we stay and we try and we think, oh, maybe, and he's nice, or we're having fun, or that whole that we do, the negotiator, the thing that we do. So I discovered within me, it's compromise. I'm willing to compromise, but the meaning of a thing, its context changes depending on the situation. Compromise is a beautiful thing. And let's talk about what compromise is. Compromise is an agreement or settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. So doesn't that sound like a good thing if you're working on conflict resolution with a friend or a family member or a coworker or whatever it is? It sounds great, right? You compromise, you come to an agreement, you come to a settlement in the argument or the dispute, and each side makes its concessions. They plead their case, you plead your case, and you come to an agreement. And some say, I don't love it, but I'll do it to meet you here. And they say, I don't love it, but I'll meet you here. And we're good, right? Compromise is amazing in certain situations, not in all situations. So this is where the truth of compromise being a good thing gets caught up in the lie of when to apply compromise. You don't apply compromise when you are entering a situation, when you are entering a romantic situation for the first time, when you're applying for a new job, when you're starting something new or whatever. This is where you have to use your intuition and discernment to figure out when the context of a word makes sense to even implement in a situation, or else you'll end up messing yourself up. So there was somebody that I met, this man, he seemed great. I wasn't really checking for him, but it was like, okay, the more we got to know each other, it was whatever. He said one thing. I was like, but well, let me just compromise. It's not that bad. It's this, that. Then he did something else, and I was like, ooh. And then I'm like, well, maybe it's not that bad. And right. I'm compromising. I'm like, let me weigh my options. Let me make concessions. Let me settle this within myself to get to a place where I'm like neutral with it and still able to meet this person where they're at. But here's the thing. It's a lie when you're initiating something. Compromise does not work when you meet somebody new or a new job and you start to compromise You. If you think about integrity, the definition of integrity is united, is wholeness. It is a oneness to it. So if you're of one mind, this is what I like, this is who I am, this is what my non-negotiables are, this is my standards, this is my values, this is agreement. It's only one. But when you start to compromise, you start to invite in, well, maybe now we're working with other variables. Now you're out of integrity with yourself. So if you're out of integrity with yourself, how do you think you will ever be able to walk down the path of the new job, the new relationship, the whatever you got going on in alignment with who you are and do it harmoniously when you was out of integrity in the first place? Why? Because you invited in compromise. Compromise is a beautiful thing, but you got to know when to use it. The power of a word and its definition of a thing is dependent on the context it's used in. So you got to know when to compromise and when we're not compromising. If you want to make $100,000 a year, why are you going to go apply for a job that's $50,000 a year and be like, well, this is nice and the people were nice and I guess it's for right now and all of that? Yeah. And you wonder why in 3 months things look the way they do. Same thing with this romantic relationship. I had to think of myself. I was like, what is it? What am I doing? How did I get myself in this position to where I knew this wasn't right for me, but I proceeded anyway? I had to look at the root of my willingness to compromise. It's not a bad thing. It's just, this is not where you use compromise, Jamie. This is not where you compromise. Because now look, we're in a situation where me and somebody else are at odds in a particular way. I don't like it. He don't like it. We don't like it. We all wasted time. Who has time to waste? Genuinely. Because while I was wasting time, I don't want to say waste, right? Everything is a learning experience. You enjoy people and you get this, you get that, and you move on. I get it. But there's also a part of me, because I'm willing to take accountability for how I show up in things, that says to myself, dang, how could I have been in more integrity with myself, in the oneness with my standards and my values and my desires and my needs, so that I am always in alignment with the person that I'm supposed to be with? At least a fighting chance. Sorry, I just ate. I feel like there's something in my teeth. But at least a fighting chance, because now what I feel like is, dang girl, you done wasted X amount of months. When what if I could have met somebody else over the past 6 months? Or just, what if I could have met somebody else? Did I deter my path to meet someone more aligned with me because I was out of integrity by compromising? Because I learned to compromise. It's good to compromise. You compromise because not everything goes your way. You got to be able to work with people. No, the hell I don't. Okay, I know what I want. I know what I need. I know what makes sense. I know what doesn't. And this is where you've got to allow your intuition and your knowing of yourself to take the wheel on this one. You can compromise with your husband after you've already, you know what I mean? You can compromise after you get in the position that you actually wanted. Now you're a team member, and compromise makes sense in this context. Compromise does not make sense upon initial, hey, how you doing? And then you start compromising. What? You're out of integrity. Note to self. So no more compromising. That was my word for me today. No more making concessions. I'm good for making some concessions. I'm a very loving person. I want people to feel, I'm very understanding. I understand people. I understand where they're coming from. I know we're all different. I know people do different things under different circumstances. We could go on for days with that. But what does that have to do with me being in integrity with myself, knowing what my heart desires, what does and doesn't work for me genuinely? And when those flags pop up, That's not compromise time. You don't compromise with your intuition. You don't compromise when your gut speaks. So I hope that made sense. We have to be very careful with the fine lines. There's a lot of, when you hear something that's true, okay? It's true. Compromise is a good thing. That is a truth. But where that little lie comes in is that compromise in its context can be used at all times. That's not true. Does that make sense? Because this is how we be messing ourselves up. This is how we mess ourselves up every time. And you want to pull these things out at the root. That's what I'm doing. Today, I really sat with myself and I was like, oh, that's what you're doing to keep finding yourself in these situations. Yes, Jamie, compromise is a good thing, but it ain't a good thing in the context of vetting a romantic partner. It ain't a good thing in negotiating my worth when it comes to money. Excuse me? Like, so I had to really look at that and examine that, like, no more concessions will be made. Because when I make concessions, I sell myself short. When I sell myself short, I get upset. When I'm upset, that energy trickles out to the entire, what I'm working with. In my personal life, with the other person, with the other, and then now everything's falling apart and we're all looking like, did we just waste 6 months? Did we just waste a year? Did 2 years just go by and we went through all this? Porque why? Because you're out of integrity, the oneness. If integrity is whole, one, being in integrity with your word, mind, body, soul, we're all on the same page. And compromise is an agreement or settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side. Each side sounds like more than one. If compromise is reaching a settlement on each side, each side, there's no each side in integrity. There's only the oneness of it. So you done already messed up trying to compromise yourself, what you know to be true for you, what you know your standards, values, and decision already is. Now you want to compromise? Oh, what is each side? You just separated integrity. So you're out of it now. Now we're working with maybe, and now we're flip-flopping and we're on. Not how this works. That's not how this works. Save yourself ahead of time. I really be trying to share things that I think, upon grasping these things that I'm sharing, your entire life will change. This is why I life coach. It's one thing to hear me on YouTube, I understand, but this is why I like to work with people one-on-one, because when you grasp these fine lines, these are little things that we're not getting, that are keeping us in a perpetual state of unhappiness and stupidity because we can't see it. We don't get it. So I'm hoping you got this. Y'all, I had so much fun with this one today because I had to check myself. And I come from, I am the, wounded healer. I'm teaching and I life coach what I know to be true and to what I've actually gone through. I'm not preaching from a book or from some quotes or some. This is real life. This is like life changing. These are the fine lines that will change your life. So I really hope you guys understood this message. Please go to sassymethod.com if you're interested in one-on-one life coaching. I need to talk about that more because my clients, they're coming to me in tears like, you've changed my life. I don't know where I would be right now if it was not for the Sassy Method. And that is such a blessing for me to hear. But this is why I come on YouTube every day. Low key, I'm sharing the same stuff with you that I share with my clients. Now, it's different to work one-on-one where we dig in your stuff and we got names and specific happenings and all this, and I get it. But like, these things have been changing my life and the lives of others because they're so small. But if you can hear it and you can grasp it and use it, your life will change. Who wants to be going through the same stupid stuff? Who wants to continue to be undervalued? Who wants to continue to be heartbroken? How much is it costing you to be emotionally drained and spiritually broken and heartbroken? Yes, there are beautiful things to being heartbroken. It really does break your heart open to different levels and depths of understanding of yourself and other people. But I want to be loved. I'm ready for someone to come in and help me keep my heart together. The broken part, I'm done. So how are we going to do that effectively if we can't not only see what it is that we're doing to keep ourselves out of alignment with the things that we want? We're not only doing that, but we've got to take accountability for it as well. How can you take accountability for something you don't know you're doing? How? And you wonder why year after year. Oh, this guy looks good. He's sweet. It's different. Your subconscious is like, I need you to get this one. I need you to learn this lesson. So I'm going to put you through it again. Here's all the tools so you can go through it again. You need to stop suppressing these feelings. I need you to see what's going on here. And then you go through it and then you're like, guys are this, or people don't ever do this. And you start to get ideas about yourself. You start to perpetuate out your mouth. This is how the world is. This is how ideas form. And the way you think, feel, and act creates your personality. Now you're in this habitual movement of all of these things and thoughts that have nothing to do with what was actually going on because you never got to the root. You never got to the fine lines of things. It's something so small. It's so small, but it's so big. So anyway, sassymethod.com. I am a life coach and I'm happy to be great at what I do. You know, anybody who's under the sound of my voice that I resonate with, some of you will catch on, some of you won't, but regardless, I'm giving you the tools. I'm being generous with my wisdom because I want people to understand how they can change their life. So if you can take this free video and apply it and marinate on it, you're going to see things change. I am the supplanter, okay? That is what my name means, to supersede and replace. If we're going to keep the old habits, we're going to get the old results. I don't want old results. I like new things. I like new results. And I'm sure you do too. So anyway, that was just a quick message. I have another YouTube show that I do on another channel. We record, but you guys follow Black Cinder, BLKCINDER. I am a part of that podcast. It's me and 3 guys, and we just be shooting the stuff. We be chopping it up on love, dating, relationships, and sometimes politics and viral content. It's so much fun. So I'm really dedicating myself to speaking because I know there's so much truth, value, and benefit to what I have to share. So I'm not going to shut up. And I just, hope that I'm heard, felt, and valued. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope that all made sense. If you like this, like it. If you know a friend that needs this, please share with them. Be a good person and share some wisdom with somebody. Like, we can't just share the ratchet stuff. We can't be so quick to share what Lizzo is doing and who Cardi B is throwing a mic at, but not share something that's actually going to benefit somebody's life. Like, find the balance. Love y'all. See you in the next video. Bye.